My dear, we didn't ruin each other. We just didn't know how to hold what was sacred. I wasn't the villain. You weren't the victim. We were just two storms trying to kiss. We called it love, but it was really two broken mirrors trying to reflect the sun. You weren't cruel. I wasn't kind. We just misread the silence between us. Our timing wasn't bad. It was us. We kept showing up wearing our old wounds. You held me like a lifeline, but I needed you to hold me like a choice. Maybe we didn't break. Maybe we just revealed what was always cracked. We weren't toxic. We were just bleeding on each other and calling it a dance. I wanted to save you. You wanted to be seen. We both failed each other. Our love wasn't wrong. Our handling of it was. I mistook your distance for depth. You mistook my silence for strength. We were mirrors, not soulmates, only showing each other the parts we couldn't face alone. We gave each other pieces we hadn't healed yet. That was our first mistake. You were fire, I was gasoline. We called it warmth. We kept apologizing for wounds we didn't even know we gave. Our souls weren't incompatible. They were just unready. I didn't break you. You didn't abandon me. We just shattered, trying to love wrong. We both spoke love in different languages, and neither of us learned to translate. Our connection was sacred, but we kept touching it with unwashed hands. We mistook chaos for passion. That was never love. You gave too little. I gave too much. And somehow both left us empty. I romanticized your brokenness, and you weaponized mine. We weren't evil. We were just two aching hearts pretending we were healed. You kept pulling away. I kept pulling harder. I saw red flags and called them roses. You saw wounds and called them art. Our love had potential. Our patience didn't. We were beautiful in theory, destructive in reality. We tried to fix each other instead of loving each other whole. I loved the version of you I created in my mind. You didn't lie. I just heard what I wanted. We kept bleeding and blamed the knife instead of our grip. I confused your chaos with chemistry. You confused my devotion with control. We didn't grow together. We grew apart. You wanted peace. I wanted proof. We made promises we never knew how to keep. I wasn't ready for real. You weren't ready for raw. You chased freedom. I chased forever. We both brought wounds to the altar and called it sacred. You needed healing. I needed home. Our connection wasn't false. It was fragile. You taught me pain disguised as passion. We both kept score, but no one won. I thought breaking for you was devotion. You needed me to chase you. I needed you to choose me. We both made each other feel disposable. We weren't ready for the depth we touched. I made excuses. You made exits. You turned cold. I turned to poetry. We were addicted to the idea of us. You taught me how to stay too long. We kept returning to ruins, expecting sanctuary. You held space, I held back. Our silence screamed more than our words ever did. I buried my voice to keep your comfort. You stopped listening. I stopped speaking. We used love as a distraction from our damage. I gave you my softness. You resented it. You gave me your rage. I romanticized it. We didn't fall out of love. We collapsed under it. You needed someone to chase. I needed someone to stay. Our goodbye wasn't bitter. It was overdue. I didn't want perfect. I wanted presence. You ghosted. I grieved. You sought power. I sought peace. We weren't enemies. We were echoes. I thought I could hold your darkness without losing my light. You weren't wrong. I wasn't right. We just weren't aligned. We taught each other lessons. Some hurt more than they healed. We dressed up our damage and called it desire. You needed someone to fix. I needed to be free. I wrote poetry. You read none of it. I begged. You braced. We mistook survival for intimacy. You left emotionally before I noticed physically. I kept hoping you'd change. You kept hoping I'd stop. We danced on boundaries and blamed the burn. You weren't ready to be seen. I wasn't ready to disappear. We lit a match and blamed the fire. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. We weren't toxic. We were just terrified. You clung to control. I clung to connection. I chased a future with someone who lived in their past. You blamed timing. I blamed myself. We kept reuniting, not realizing we were always unfinished. I craved depth. You feared drowning. We misused love as a way to avoid healing. You needed space. I needed certainty. I watched you walk away while screaming silently. We both brought ghosts to dinner and called it intimacy. You kept secrets. I kept swallowing them. I apologized for feeling. You punished me for it. We mistook pain for proof. You pretended to stay. I pretended not to notice.